There's no other truck, whether it's gas or electric, that can drive these type of roads just with the software. What's up, guys? I have my Tesla Cybertruck and we are up here at Fort Hunter Leggett. We're doing some just kind of like off-grid work here with Urander and experiencing what it's like to camp inside. But I have 13.2.9 FSD that we're gonna try out here in these hills. We're gonna see how it does, and shout out to Insta360, the official camera of TOSV. We got the X5 up here ready to capture all the cool shots. And of course, I have my Ace Pro 2 right here. So let's see how this drive goes. All right, so this again is FSD 13.2.9, and we are going to just see how well this does. And again, this is actually Fort Hunter Leggett. It's United States Army Garrison is what it says. And we actually just saw a tank right behind us. So we're gonna see, how well this will do. The only thing I'm nervous about up here is actually going to be this, the sun. Hopefully that doesn't stop this from happening. But yeah, it's been super exciting to watch FSD 14 come out. Unfortunately, the Cybertruck probably won't get it until the end of the month. But nonetheless, still very cool to watch and see, because this update has a lot of things going for it. And what are those things, right? It's able to take you through drive-thrus and wait. It's also able to go through parking garages and wait for the parking ticket and know how to deal with that. So, there's just a lot of things that the Robotaxi was doing when I experienced it when I was in Austin for the initial launch with Hans and about 20 other influencers. And then the other thing is that it's able to pull over for emergency vehicles. And so many of these things were the biggest pieces and pain points of the FSD. And because the Robotaxi, obviously it's a different software build, but the fact that it can actually handle all that is just pretty crazy. But all that to say is that the Robotaxi is a different software build. And what did we end up finding out is that a lot of the things that they have been able to solve, like whether within autonomy, they did it on the Robotaxi. All right, so we're going to be making a left here. It's an unprotected left-hand turn. It's a state route 1. All right. This road is split right here, but it is a one-lane road. All right, so this is just in the wrong side. On the wrong side of the road. So yeah, not really sure. It's kind of a little bit frustrating that it was a one-lane road, so I wasn't too worried about it on the entry. But here it should just know. Okay, so we're just gonna be going straight through here. FSD literally taking me over a bridge. Pretty crazy. It was very, very narrow too. That's pretty crazy. All right, so we actually have a Corvette up here coming through, and it's pulling over to the side. All right, so it did kind of go a little bit off the road there, but again, it's, you're going 30 miles an hour, so this has not been too great of a drive so far. Having to correct it over there. It was great that it handled that bridge, but, and I still think, with 13.2.9, it's a little bit frustrating that, it still does hug the side of the road on the highway. So when you are driving on the highway, it's hugging the left. If you're on the left lane, it still hugs that line pretty hard. Looks like there's a lot of really cool roads back here to just go off-roading in. And But what beautiful scenery. I mean, this is just, this is what it's all about. You know, just getting outdoors, seeing things that are different. Okay, so now we're dead on with the sun. So hopefully, we'll see if this can handle it. It looks like, thankfully, we're not going to be directly in the sun for very long. So. Okay, so no idea why I was getting close to there. So again, we'll re-engage, but was going into a ditch, had to stop it. But this is why you're testing up here. This is why I'm taking it up here, is because, you know, I want to be able to help with the data and the information that's in here. But we are in direct sunlight right now. Wow, look at this. So beautiful. I don't know if you can see it enough from the video. Being in this valley is just crazy. There's so many of these spots though, it just seems like, I need to do some research, but I would assume you could probably just go up these dirt roads. There's nothing blocking them. Look at these awesome trees, but again, it's just crazy that you get to just enjoy this beautiful view, right? FSD is just taking me this whole route. But yeah, I mean, Tesla's got so much ahead of them, right, on what is next. And it really is really exciting on, you know, what they'll be on the cusp of, especially with the robotaxi, especially with, you know, FSD 14 has been a game changer, and I think they actually just released FSD 14.1.1. So, okay, now we're still in direct sunlight, the camera, so we'll see how well this handles. We're starting to get also to pretty narrow roads. I mean, it still looks like there's kind of that middle divider. All right, so it looks like we're descending now into potentially like kind of the basin area. Oh, check this out. All right, so we're going through another one of these bridges, or what is it, little hangars? Pretty cool. All right, road narrows. I'm doing this whole drive hands-free. Definitely still has its room of improvement, as we can clearly see here. But it is just truly incredible, you know, what's been possible. Man, these riverbeds over here on the left are completely dry. No shoulder for the next 15 miles. Well, let's go. We'll see if we end up with having to deal with any other cars while we're up here, or potentially... Oh, look. All right, so we got this car up here. So we're going to go to the right. So we'll see if we have to deal with any other cars or really even, you know, bigger animals, right? All right, so we got a second car here. All right, so it looks like the sun kind of just hit it. So that typically happens when the sun gets in that direct, just in the cameras. So something it'll have to work through. I think looks like for the most part we're going to be going along this ridge all the way up there. All right, so it's starting to get a little bit tighter in this corner over here. Again, we'll see. It looks like even a couple of more cars are coming out. Looks like we got an Audi e-tron. And look, we even got a person out here just hanging out in his Tacoma. And he looks like he's got a tarantula in his hands. And that's the Ponderosa campground. All right, so we have a car coming here. Look at that. It's just handling these mountains like a champ. Oh, look, there's even another car over here. And there's kind of a small bush in there. Yeah, this is just crazy. Pretty narrow road going all the way through this mountain. So we're handling a mini bridge here. Okay, we're going literally around a blind corner here. It's crazy. literally going around blind corners on here, and it's able to handle it all. Look at out here to the right too. You can see a lot of these, just all these rocks. Okay, so we're making a decent U here. Not a U-turn, but like half hairpin, whatever you want to call it. Look at that. So this is, wow, look at that. So there's that Jeep there, and thing was flying around. Was able to handle it. All right, so we got another Jeep. So the two cars that I've been seeing up here is probably like what, Subarus and Jeeps. There's no other truck, whether it's gas or electric, that can drive these type of roads just with the software. We're literally climbing this ridge and going up and over it. Fat turn right there. So we're gonna come around this ridge, and again, you know, I hope we can get to the site all the way with FSD, but it looks like what? Yeah, it's just doing super well. Look at that, another, what is that, F250, 350? Okay, so we're gonna be making this turn here. Yep. All right, so it is starting to get to, let's see if we can will not let me initiate. Let's see how much longer. I think if it does turn out again, I'm not gonna force it. But like I said, outside of the sun, which continues to be clearly an issue with FSD, you know, we'll have to see how that, you know, even FSD 14, just being in direct sunlight is just clearly seems to be a limitation here, at least 13.2.9. All right, guys, so you can see some of these mountainous roads do have limitations. We did a good 30-minute drive there. It sucks that the sun got to us. There were some obviously other issues as well, with just going and dealing with some of the ditches that, and again, I don't know if it's because the sun was glaring straight into it, but overall, you know, this is the only truck that can drive itself, right? Obviously, you know, it's FSD supervised, so I'm still supervising it, and this is still 13.2.9, which is kind of an old build, where the Robotaxi is so much further ahead. So I'm hoping that this is kind of just a small limitation, and FSD 14.11 will just take us over the hoop, especially with the Cybertruck. That won't come until the end of the month, but yeah, this was kind of a disappointing drive, if I'm being really honest. I was expecting a little bit more, just with, you know, the sun, but also some of the other things. So hopefully this won't be an issue that we'll have to deal with a lot, but we'll see. Thanks again for supporting the channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment what you thought, and we'll catch you guys next time.